Welcome back, learners. So now to jump into our application questions that are still based on the cost of electricity. So as we can see, we have 3 questions and also on each of these questions, we are supposed to calculate the cost of power consumption in these cases. So case number 1, we are told that there's an electric heater that is rated at 2000 watts and it is used for 6 hours. And then the unit price of electricity, which is the tariff, it is 8 cents per kilowatt hours. So remember, this must always be converted to kilowatts. Now case number 2 says Duduzile uses her hairdryer labeled 1100 watts. Again, remember, this must be converted to kilowatts. It is labeled 1100 watts, which has a voltage of 220, and it is being used for 10 minutes. The municipal tariff is R1.20 per kilowatt hours. And then the last case is the 1800 watts geyser. Again, this must be converted to kilowatts. The 1800 watt geyser switches on at 3 o'clock at 1500 hours and off again at 7 o'clock, which is 1900 hours every afternoon. So that means this geyser is going to be in used for from 3 to 7. It is going to be for 4 hours. So it's in use for 4 hours every afternoon. And then we are told that the municipal tariff for 2023 was R2.20 per kilowatt hours. And we are supposed to calculate the cost of using the geyser during the month of February 2023. So to start, we are going to look at our first question, and we have said we are going to be now converting that into kilowatts. And remember, when you are moving from watts to kilowatts, we are supposed to divide by 1000. So dividing 2000 by 1000, that gives us 2 kilowatts. So we have 2 kilowatts as our power. And then we have time. So power is 2 kilowatts. Our time, it is going to be given as 6 hours. And then the tariff. So the tariff is calculated as 80 cents. So it's 0.8. So the tariff is 80 cents, and that is our 0.8. Then, to now use the equation, so the cost is going to be equals to the power rating multiplied by the time in which the appliance was in use, and therefore lastly multiplied by the tariff. So we have converted our 2000 watts into kilowatts, and we are finding that it is 2 kilowatts, which is going to be multiplied by 6 hours, and the tariff is 0.8, which is our 80 cents. Now to get the answer to that, you just simply punch in your calculator 2 multiplied by 6 and multiplied by 0.8. We are getting that the cost is R9.60. So it's going to be R9.60. So if you are using an electric heater that has that particular wattage, which is the power, and you are using it for 6 hours, then, and if the electricity is priced as at 80 cents per kilowatt, you're going to be paying R9.60 for that 6 hours. B. Now we are told that Duduzile uses her hairdryer, which is labeled at 1100 watts, and it has a voltage of 220 volts, and she is using it for 10 minutes. And we are told that the tariff is R1.20. So the cost, the equation cost is equals to the power rating multiplied by the time in which the appliance was in use multiplied by the tariff. So the first thing to do before doing anything, we are going to be now dividing that 1,100 by 1,000. So 1,100 watts to kilowatts. Remember, we are going to divide by 1,000, and that is going to be giving us 1,1 kilowatts. So the power is 1,1 multiplied by 10. Now, we normally have time in hours, but then in this case, we have time that is given in minutes. We do know that in 1 hour, we have exactly 60 minutes. So if we are using this hairdryer for 10 minutes of those 60 minutes, that is actually the same as saying 10 over 60. It's 10 over 60, which is 1 over 6. So therefore, our time, it is going to be 1 over 6, which is going to be multiplied by the tariff, which is 1,2. So now we need to remember that our 1 over 6 it can be rounded off. The reason why I'm using it as a fraction, because the 1 over 6 as a decimal, it is 0,1666 recurring. So by rounding it off, we can't round off the answer before getting to the final answer, which is why I'm using it as 1 over 6. So therefore, the cost of this electrical power consumption is going to be the 1,1 multiplied by 1 over 6 and then multiplied by 1 rands and 20 cents. And we are getting a power or a cost of 0,22. So that means to use this hairdryer for 10 minutes at a tariff of 1 rands and 20 cents, there is going to be costing you 22 cents to use it for 10 minutes. So remember that your watts, it must always be converted into kilowatts. And if you are given, in this case, the 1,100 watts, it must be divided by 1,000. So this is supposed to be 8,000. Dividing this 1,100 by 1,000, we are going to be getting 1,1 kilowatts. So the next question now, still in keeping with the cost of power consumption, we are told that we have a geyser that is rated at 1,800 watts, and remember again, this must be converted to kilowatts. So it is rated at 1,800 watts, and it switches on at 3 o'clock and switches off again at 7 o'clock. So if you count from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and in the same day, it is going to be 4 hours. So that means this geyser is in use for 4 hours. So that happens every afternoon. Therefore, we are told that in 2023, the municipality was charging 2 rands and 20 cents per kilowatt hours, and we are supposed to calculate the total cost of using this geyser during the month of February. So, first things first, equation says cost is equals to the power rating multiplied by the time that the appliance was in use multiplied by the tariff. And we also need to now convert that 1,800 into kilowatts. And remember, we are dividing by 1,000. So dividing the 1,800 by 1,000, we are going to get 1,8 kilowatt. So this is our power. So our power rating is 1,8 multiplied by, this appliance is in use for 4 hours every afternoon. So it's multiplied by 4. And we are told that the tariff is 2 rands and 20 cents. So it's going to be multiplied by 2,2. So to run this geyser, or the cost of using this geyser for 4 hours on this tariff, it is going to be 1,8 multiplied by 4 and multiplied by 2,2, and we are going to be getting the cost to be 15 rands and 84 cents. But you need to remember that this is the cost of running this geyser for just 1 day, for 4 hours, or for just 4 hours in that 1 day. Now, Because we're looking for the cost of using this geyser during the month of February 2023, we know that February 2023 had 28 days. So that means this amount must be multiplied by the 28 to say that if we were to run or to use this geyser for 28 days, how much would we pay in total at the end of the month? So multiplied by 28, that gives us 443 rands and 52 cents. You using this geyser that has this power, a rating of 1,800 watts or 1.8 kilowatts, and using it for 4 hours every day, and the assumption is the municipality was charging you 2 rands and 20 cents per kilowatt an hour on tariff. For you to run or to use this geyser for the whole month of February, you would be charged 443 rands and 52 cents. So this means that if you want to now run this geyser for 4 hours every day, and the municipality charging you 2 rands and 20 cents per kilowatt hours for the month of February, it would have cost you 443 rands and 52 cents. So now I sure hope you can then be able to calculate the cost of power consumption for all the appliances that you are using, depending on the power rating that they have, and also depending on the tariff that you are being charged for that particular month or even for that particular year. So before now moving on, we're just going to quickly go for a short break, and I will see you just after this.